the ultimate measure of our lives is not how much time we spend on this planet, but rather how much energy we invest in the time that we have. So in that spirit, in today's video, let me share with you 12 quick tips to master your energy. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. Number 1 tip, avoid being hangry. Eat small and eat often. The primary source of our physical energy comes from the food that we eat. That is a fact. So if we don't eat, we don't have energy. And we've all experienced this to an extent. You might not have experienced prolonged extreme hunger, but if you skipped a meal here and there, you know that feeling of being hungry and its impact on your ability to function. Also better known as hangry. And when you're hangry, it's difficult to be concerned with anything else besides food. You can't concentrate on the task at hand. You're more irritable. You get lightheaded. You start biting on anything you can get your hands on. Overall, it's not a pretty picture. So get in the habit of feeding yourself frequently throughout the day. How often? In one study at New York's Mount Sinai Hospital, subjects were placed in an environment with no clocks or time cues. Provided with food, they were told to eat whenever they were hungry. The result was that they ate an average of once every 96 minutes. So about every 1.5 hours. Alright, so you get it, eat small and eat often. But what to eat then? That's where the next tip comes in. Tip number 2. Avoid processed food. The basic question I like to ask myself whenever I have food in front of me is this. How close is this to its natural form? How much processing did it go through before arriving in front of me? An apple? I'm sure it came off the tree looking like an apple, so A+. A Greek yogurt? It went through some processing, but it's still pretty close to its original form, milk, so a B. A donut? I'm not sure about you, but I've never seen a donut tree in my life. Unless it was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So an F. When you're feeding yourself throughout the day to avoid the hunger stage, you want to focus on highly nutritious natural food. Not processed foods like pastries, potato chips, and even energy bars. Processed food might give us an immediate energy kick, but they aren't sustainable. We get into quick highs and quick lows. My favorites are fruits like bananas and apples, or Greek yogurt mixed with protein powder, nuts, and a little bit of granola. I have young kids, so it's impossible for me to completely avoid processed food at all times, but what's helped me is to practice out of sight, out of mind. If I buy a bag of chips, I make sure to put it in the pantry, far away from my natural line of sight, so I'm not tempted to grab one passing by the kitchen. And when I purchase healthy snacks like apple, bananas, and nuts, I leave them out on the kitchen counter, so I'm conditioned to grab them instead of unhealthy processed food. Number 3. Drink more water. Drinking water is one of the most undervalued sources of physical energy renewal. And unlike hunger, thirst is actually a bad indicator of need. By the time you're thirsty, there's a good chance you're long past dehydrated. And dehydration, if you've ever experienced it, is not good for your energy level. You have a hard time concentrating, and it even affects your coordination. What I like to do is have my 40-ounce water bottle with me at all times wherever I go. It's next to my bed when I sleep, on my desk when I work, and in my bag whenever I'm out. It's always topped off, and I get antsy when my bottle is almost empty and I can't find a refill station. I even got my kids 16-ounce water bottles each and have them carried around wherever they go. The last thing I want is having very cranky, dehydrated kids screaming at me in the backseat of the car when I'm driving. Number 4. Limit alcohol. I know this is a controversial statement if you enjoy alcohol. And there's nothing inherently wrong with alcohol, that is as long as you don't go overboard with it. It is when you abuse it, it can go sideways real quick. There's a reason why we have the 12-step Alcoholics Anonymous. Alcohol is by nature a sedative, so it naturally has the effect of making you feel drowsy and lethargic. So the last thing you want to do if you want to master your energy level is to drink alcohol. Well, you might be asking, how about to relax and sleep? A little nightcap helps me to fall asleep quicker. Contrary to what many people believe, alcohol actually interferes with quality sleep. Several hours after that nightcap, the alcohol raises the body's stress hormone that increases heart rates and generally stimulates the body, which often results in nighttime awakening or disrupted sleep. Moderate controlled amount of alcohol doesn't do too much harm, but be mindful. Personally, I haven't drank alcohol since 2011. It's not like I drank a lot before, but I realized after a while it provided no real benefit to my life. Most people I hung out with didn't drink too much, it was expensive, and frankly, I didn't like the taste. So I went cold turkey and haven't looked back. You don't have to be extreme like me and cut it out completely, but evaluate the value of alcohol in your life, especially in relation to your energy level and what you want to achieve in life. Is it helping you move forward or is it holding you back? Number 5, master sleep. Trying to function after a bad night of sleep or not enough sleep is akin to driving drunk, or trying to work drunk. Most humans need at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night to function optimally. We don't need studies to really back this up. We all have enough personal experience to know how true this is. The day after you had a good night of sleep, 7 to 8 hours uninterrupted, things just seem to click. You can concentrate better, your energy level is higher, and you're just a lot more productive. The day after you slept for barely a few hours, or woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't go back to sleep, you feel like a walking zombie. You have a hard time concentrating on the task at hand. You're easily distracted, and you just feel fatigued all day long. Not a good combination. Couple tips to help you master sleep. 1. Remove all tech devices from your bedroom. We naturally have low self-control, so if we see our phone or iPad in our bedroom, we can't help ourselves but gravitate towards it. And before we know it, 3 episodes of Black Mirror later, it's 2 a.m. and we're kicking ourselves. 2. Eliminate all light and noise. What I like to do is use an eye cover and earplugs to guarantee that I'm not interrupted when I'm sleeping. 3. Go to bed earlier than you're used to. For me, between 10 and 11 is a sweet spot. It's late enough where I can take care of some household chores after the kids are in bed, and early enough where I can still get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Number 6. Take strategic naps. We naturally reach our lowest energy level somewhere around 3 or 4 p.m. after a busy morning and after lunch where we have a full stomach. My wife does this more often, but what really helps her is to take strategic 20 to 30 minute naps in the afternoon to rejuvenate herself. Winston Churchill was known to practice this habit regularly during World War II. You must sleep sometime between lunch and dinner and no halfway measures. Take off your clothes and get into bed. That is what I always do. Don't think you'll be doing less work because you sleep during the day. That is a foolish notion held by people who have no imagination. You will accomplish more. You will get 2 days in one, well, at least 1.5, I'm sure. When the war started, I had to sleep during the day because that was the only way I could cope with my responsibilities. If a world leader found value in taking strategic naps, I'm sure we can find some value from it as well. Number 7. Take nature walk. Hitting that energy wall? Grab your shoes and take a walk outside. Even just 10 minutes help. Again, you don't need scientific studies to validate its benefit. When you intentionally take yourself out of your current setting and walk around the neighborhood or your local park, you get a natural boost of energy. The fresh air rejuvenates you. The natural surroundings stimulate your physical senses, and you just become more mindful of yourself. I personally like to do this when I pick up the kids after school. I intentionally park my car at the far end of the school, so I'm forced to walk past the long stretches of trees. It provides a nice break from my day of work, and the change of environment rejuvenates me for the rest of the day. Number 8. Limit TV. The main takeaway is to recognize that TV is an energy drain, not an energy gain. The honest fact is that television, whether we like it or not, is one of the primary means by which people relax and recover. After a hard day of work, we look forward to just relaxing in front of our favorite TV show. Now, again, like processed food and alcohol, moderate level is okay. A lot of times actually beneficial to helping us unwind from a stressful day of work or school. However, taken too far, it does more harm than good. Watching too much television is the mental and emotional equivalent to eating too much junk food. It provides a temporary pleasure, but holds little nutritious value and way too easy to consume too much of it. And studies have shown that when we spend most of our downtime watching television, it could lead to worse anxiety and low-level depression. What I like to do is follow the mantra of watch just enough. Just enough to scratch the itch, but no more. When I'm eating lunch, just 1 episode. When we're watching something as a family, we commit to 1 movie or 1 show, so we're all on the same page as to what our enough is. Number 9. Make friends. I have to admit, making friends that I want to genuinely talk to and maintain a close relationship with, are harder as I've gotten older. It's not as easy or natural as hanging out with my best buddy during 3rd grade recess, or getting late night tacos with my college roommates. As a middle-aged man with young kids, making friends at times feels unnatural. However, relationships are crucial to a long, healthy, and satisfied life. Healthy friendships can not only be a good emotional support, but are a powerful source of positive energy. A study by University of Chicago surveyed commuters on city buses and metro trains. They asked how they felt when they talked to a stranger versus when they just commuted in isolation. Contrary to what many participants initially thought, many people who talked to a stranger as part of the study reported they genuinely had a happier experience. They felt more energized after the commute. Healthy friendships, just like healthy conversations, are a powerful source of positive energy. So don't be shy. Go out and strike up a conversation. Make friends. You don't have to become best buddies, but the more healthy relationships that you have, the more energized you'll naturally be. Number 10. Focused family time. Just as good friendship and good relationships create more energy, I feel the most powerful relationships are the ones we have with our family. If we can have a healthy relationship with our spouse, our kids, and other members of our family, we can tap into a source of emotional energy that can sustain us for a long period of time. But this is also one of the most hardest sources of energy to develop. Usually we have the hardest time with the people that are closest to us. It's easier to maintain a loose relationship with the guy that works at Home Depot because there isn't much stake there. However, to have a great relationship with our partner and our kids takes work, and a lot of it. I fumble through this on a daily basis, but what has really helped me is leverage my strength of calendaring and time blocking to prioritize family time. I actually block out time on my calendar for family time. I can't guarantee it's going to be a kumbaya moment, but at least it's on the calendar and it forces us to try. Some common focused family time I block are these: date night with my wife, evening reading time with the kids, weekend getaways to an amusement park or a museum. It's not perfect, but it forces me to focus on my relationship with the family. Number 11, practice gratitude. Develop the muscle to see the current situation as glass is half full rather than half empty. There's nothing more energy draining than a negative thought. A small seed of negativity can grow to consume our minds and our lives. Therefore, we want to develop our reframing muscle because we humans are naturally negative beings. My kids remind me of this every day. Left to our own devices, we'll complain about this and that, tell everyone how unfair life is, and wallow in our own self-pity. This is no way to live. Zig Ziglar, an American motivational speaker, had this great exercise to help me reframe my mind. Get a blank sheet of paper and start a sentence with, I like my job because. Then try to list out as many items as possible. The reason why I like my job. If my mind is full of negative thoughts about work, it may take a bit of convincing and time. But start with the basics. Does my job pay me? Great. Then write, I like my job because they pay me. Does my job give me a computer? Great, then write, I like my job because they give me a computer to do my work. Keep going until you've written as many as you could. Then go back and change the I like my job to I love my job because. When you're putting pen to paper, what you're doing is you're forcing your mind to reframe from the negative to the positive. The more you do this, the more natural it gets. Number 12, find me time. As much as some of us might enjoy being with people, not everyone is a natural extrovert. I sure am not. I am as introvert as you can get. What do you think I talk to a camera instead of a real person in a dark corner of my room all day long? So if I want to maintain a high energy level throughout the day, I need to find my me time. A time where it's just me and my thoughts alone. Not trying to meet someone else's expectations or needs. An activity that we're doing simply because they're enjoyable and emotionally nourishing. Find what that is for you. It could be gardening, painting, doing yoga, reading, visiting a museum, or simply spending quiet, reflective time alone after an intense day of engaging with other people. The key is to make your you time a priority. Thank you guys for watching. In the spirit of happiness, if you'd like to learn spending techniques to maximize happiness, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.